Classical phylogenetic approaches use morphological information to find out evolution information across species, such as shapes and their heights and lengths of different organisms, such as legs and hands. On the other hand, current techniques use molecular information, such as DNA, protein structures, and RNA information. So there are three different approaches for finding information from phylogeny trees. Those approaches are: number one, distance based approach. So distance based approach tries to find out nearest or closest sequences. The other one is maximum parsimony technique, which requires minimum number of changes to extract information from the data. And finally, we have maximum likelihood approach. Maximum likelihood approach, basically it tries to find out the best model which can explain our data. The third one is basically we have different tree things like leaves. Basically leaves, what are leaves? Leaves are things which are shown on a tree. Things can be our species, our organisms, our genes, or our strains. Then for showing this information, we use the word taxon, and plural of this one is a taxa. So what are internal nodes? So for showing internal nodes, basically these are our hypothetical information which are inner nodes between two different nodes. So between nodes we have internal nodes. So if we have a top hierarchy, a grandparent, then we have parent, then we have child. So parent is basically internal nodes. रूटेड ट्री और अनरूटेड ट्री क्या होता है, ये मैंने पहले एक्सप्लेन किया था. रूटेड ट्री में वी हैव अ one root from where other nodes are built on, and from unrooted tree there is no common root for other nodes. Again there is an example. So for building a rooted tree, what we need, we have a parent which is common for all the nodes, as shown that for ABCD on the right hand diagram we have one tree which has a common parent. On the left node there is no common parent, that is unrooted tree. So which sequences we can use? Again we can use DNA sequences, but what will happen? They will be very sensitive, and there are no common or uniform mutation rates available for DNA sequences. cDNA or chromosomal DNA or RNA, they are very good for remote homologies. What are remote homologies? Basically remote homologies are which are not directly related or directly connected to each other. And then we have protein sequences. Basically again they are useful for remote homologies and deep phylogenes, and they are better mutation rates, and they are more character states also. So they can be better to use as compared to DNA sequences based phylogenetics trees. Again a very good example is ribosomal RNA 16S sequence. Why? Because it exists in all organisms. It has very highly conserved regions. It is suitable for very broad and deep phylogenetic studies, and then it is unsuited to fine grained phylogeny. If we have to find out detailed phylogenetic information, that it is not suitable. Otherwise it is very useful for millions or billions of organisms. So what is the computational process for finding a phylogenetic information? So first information is to get information of molecular structures such as DNA, protein structures, and etc. Then we construct multiple sequence alignment between those sequences. Then we have some distance measure between those sequences. Then we build tree. So for tree we need some topology, length of the tree, and what are different branches and edges of those tree. And then we have to estimate reliability of that tree. How reliable is that tree? That if there are some gaps, if there are problems, how we can deal with those problems. And finally we should have some visualization mechanism कि हम उस tree को visualize कर सकें on real life data.